On this week's show, 3 new Power Zone instructors are here, and Peloton's Black Friday sales have started.
Plus, more updates on the return of the Tread Plus, software updates for the bike, tread, and row, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 153 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm John Pruitt. I am joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Amanda Siegel. Hey, Amanda.
Hey,
are you
John, there? I am here. You kind of like that, don't you?
It's a throwback to the days of old of Pelo Buddy.
I'm telling you. I know. I like our new system, though. It's kind of cool. Yes, I am here. Oh, my God. We have a full show. I have so much to share. You know, I'm going to be buzzing about this past weekend. But John, oh, my God, John, it all kind of lined up and turned out to be the most incredible weekend. I got that time with AT, and let me tell you, it was so worth it. So I think, I don't remember when we went to record last week, did I know I was in the class yet or not? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you did. I? Okay. Yeah.
So I had gotten off the wait
because
list.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, you're doing a milestone with AT. I don't think you don't really do a lot of milestones with him. So
he's my guy. And
on intervals and arms. It was intervals and arms, right?
It was intervals and arms.
It wasn't even a club bangers.
You know what you get, and you don't get upset. It was what I could get into, for the weekend. But honestly, he was beyond superior. I mean, he was just incredible. And I feel so fortunate. I mean, he gave me the most beautiful shout out. I'll tell you, I did it with a bunch of friends, and that made it even more special. There were so many people in that class that made it so unbelievably special. And it was just an experience. I mean, he was so cool, so sweet. And yeah, I got to tell you, it was worth every single minute of it. So that was Saturday in the studio. I got in late kind of Friday night. So it was Saturday in the studio. I also got to do a yoga class with Anna Greenberg, which I have never done before. I've never been, in person with her. So that was really cool. And then Sunday was Marathon Day. And John, I popped that Marathon Spectator cherry, and boy, it was, they say sometimes your first time isn't that great. It was fantastic.
Where did you park yourself, or did you move around the whole time?
I did. So I ended up being at mile 17. I got invited to a breakfast, and I'll give her a shout out. Marisol is one of Mariana's good friends who had asked me to join her and a bunch of people. And she is obsessed with Marathon Sunday. She's like a national holiday for her. And she was at a wedding in Cabo, and her flight got canceled home, and she didn't make it. But she opened up her home to us, which was just so lovely and so gracious and hospitable. And we were right in the corner. Ironically, apparently, I was standing right next to El Rocco, which I had no idea. He was right there cheering on. I think.
And you were totally oblivious to the fact that it was Al Roker?
Totally. I didn't know until after he posted something, and somebody said, "Did you know that Al Roker was standing right next to you?" So that was kind of cool. So we were at mile 17, and then probably a couple hours in, I walked across town to the park and got to see some of the finishers. So my friend Owen Hughes, Owen Twirls, got to see him finish the crossing line. And yeah, I mean, it was just an experience. We'll talk more about it in the show, but for me, my own personal experience, having being the very first time any marathon, I've never spectated a marathon before. It was really, really cool. So a great weekend.
Barry McCarthy and his wife are out there. I forget who. Maybe Matt Wolpers took a picture with him.
Nice.
He bumped into them somewhere.
Nice.
But yeah, like everyone, all the instructors were out either running it or just out there cheering on all their fellow teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I'll share all of that, in the news. But it was good. Well, we've got tons to talk about. Firstly, you had a good week. Everything was good with you. No complaints?
Same circus, different day.
All right. Well, then why don't we get straight into it? And folks, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of this video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yes, and you can always just listen to us if you want to hear the audio only. Of course, we are on all traditional podcast platforms under Pelo Buddy TV. Make sure you subscribe, hit notifications, ring that bell so you don't miss an update. And also, we do appreciate the 5-star reviews that we receive. It really helps us in terms of feedback, and we love reading some of those reviews on the show. So please keep those coming. We do greatly appreciate them.
Of course. And finally, folks, we are on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. Make sure that you just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of those platforms. And now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Our top story today is one that's going to make some PZ members really, really happy. Peloton has expanded its Power Zone team by adding not one, not two, but 3 new instructors. Hannah Frankson, Tunde Oyeneyin, and Charlotte Weidenbach have all been making sure I got it right. Charlotte is going to get all the right kudos for this one. They have all been included in the listing of Power Zone instructors. These 3 will start teaching rides from this month. Tunde's class will be live, while Hannah and Charlotte's classes will be released directly to the on-demand library. The schedule for their debut 30-minute Power Zone rides are as follows. Hannah's is on November the 13th, so I believe that is Monday, tomorrow, right? Am I right in saying that? It is. Yeah.
The 13th is Monday.
Yep. So Hannah will kick it off. Charlotte is on November the 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, that will drop on demand. And she will be the second instructor to be doing Power Zones in the German language. So she will join Eric in teaching those Power Zone classes. And then Tunde's debut will drop on November the 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, this does bring that expansion to the total number of 10 instructors, with, as I said, Charlotte being the second to teach in German. So typically, Peloton does release a number of new on-demand classes for new Power Zone instructors. So I'm sure we're going to see, an FTP warm-up, an FTP test, as well as beginning rides. But that's kind of really exciting. Certainly didn't see that one coming. I mean, we had no idea that was happening, right?
No precursors that we picked up on, I guess. Huh?
No precursors.
See, I'm not super. I know you're not into Power Zone.
No,
I'm not really into Power Zone because the music, it doesn't do it for me. But I think this is good because Hannah Frankson has some of the best music
on the platform.
So I'm excited for the music she brings. And Tunde, I love Tunde as well. I'm surprised only Tunde got a live premiere though.
No, Hannah was the only one that got the live premiere. Tunde and Charlotte are going to be on demand. So Hannah got the live.
No, it says here, I'm looking on the Pelo Buddy article. It says Hannah Frankson on demand.
Did I mess that up?
11:13. It says Tunde, 30-minute Power Zone, 11:26 at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Picking that up because I guess I messed up on that. I apologize. I thought that Hannah was the live one. All right. So
clean your glasses there, Amanda.
Gotta do that. You're quite right. You're quite right. So that's all right. That's awesome. So excuse me, folks. So Hannah will be on demand on the 13th, and then Charlotte will be, right after her, and then Tunde will do that live class on the 26th. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that only one of them.
You made an interesting point, though, that Charlotte, her Power Zone classes will only be pre-recorded. They're not going to be live.
I think just her, just her
the initial. Okay.
Just her initial.
Gotcha.
Her initial.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a big Power Zone, but it's interesting you said about the music, because I saw some comments being kind of tossed around, and people were definitely saying that they're never too thrilled with the music. Although Ben's a Power Zone instructor, and his playlists are usually cranking. So
I know it really depends on the instructor. Like Dennis's Power Zone, I avoided those like the plague, because the music was awful.
Really?
And Matt's on Saturdays is just a mix. It's just a mixed bag of music, because it's all request.
Got it.
So it's just a whole melting pot of different.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's total randomness.
All right.
But I kind of like that. So
well, we'll see. I know Chris Lewis is happy, so he's definitely going to be happy. There's some new blood on the schedule.
Well, we got some new Black Friday sales to report, and this one is a little different this year, because I had mentioned last year, there wasn't. Peloton usually doesn't discount the actual hardware. They always discount like the package that you bundle it with. That's where, because they can't really mark down the hardware much. But this year is a little different. Unlike previous years, you don't have to buy a package to get the discount. Both the base level product itself, as well as any packages that you add, are available for a discount. So depending on the country, you can get discounts on all the hardware this year. The Bike Plus, the Tread, the Row, and the Guide. The sale has already begun. It started November 7th, and it runs through November 28th. So that means it's also a part of the 2023 Peloton Cyber Monday sale. It appears also Amazon's already matching Peloton sales. And we have, hyperlinks where you can see the discounted prices on Amazon and all the breakdown of everything, obviously, on pelobuddy.com. Chris Lewis lays it out really nice for you to really see and compare if you're trying to decide between, let's say, a Bike or Bike Plus. But if you purchased Peloton product in the last 30 days, be sure to hit up Peloton for their price match that they put out there, that guarantee that they would match, any discounts in the last 30 days since that sale began. Last year, Peloton had started out with only one set of discounts, but then it increased them and added the Row halfway through the sale. And since the Row is already included this year, it seems less likely for the sales to change at this point. But just to give you an idea of the Black Friday sale by device and country. So in the U.S., the Bike is $1,095. The Bike Plus is $1,995. The Tread is $2,695, and the Guide is only $95. And the Row is $2,745. And in Canada, it's the Bike is $1,370. It's obviously a little different, but we've got a nice breakdown there for all the countries: Canada, UK, Germany, Australia. So
nice, great.
I'm sure that'll be a lot of folks will be happy. I know. I thought it was interesting. A lot of folks had seemed irritated that the price of the Peloton Tread, it's basically with the Black Friday discount, I guess it's $2,695, but they said they increased the price recently, so that's basically like the original price.
Got it.
From earlier this year. So everyone was kind of like, they mind screwed us. Right.
You think you're getting a sale, but you're not really.
Yeah, because they just bumped it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, talking about the Tread, Peloton has now informed Tread Plus owners about the upcoming rollout of a new rear safety guard set to begin in early 2024. This update does follow the Tread Plus being unavailable for sale since 2021 due to that recall by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. back in May 2023, Peloton announced that a rear guard has been approved to address the safety issues previously identified, and that new Peloton Tread Plus rear safety guard is an industry-first safety design for slat belt treadmills. It's designed to prevent pull-under incidents involving persons, objects, and pets. The guard pivots away from the Tread Plus if hands, fingers, or other objects come into contact with the gap between the guard and the belt, automatically shutting off power and safety, decelerating that slat belt. So Peloton will offer the rear safety guard free of charge to all Tread Plus members as part of the voluntary recall that was done in cooperation with the CPSC. Members will receive communications from Peloton in early 2024 to schedule their free rear safety guard installation. So did you get to take a look? Did you get to go and see the tread yourself?
So, I included the video. So I reached out to my friend at the Troy, Michigan showroom. They have the Tread Plus already on display there currently as of, this past Thursday, the 9th. And they do have the safety guard. So he actually sent me a video, which hopefully he lets Pelo Buddy post and use. I asked him for permission.
Awesome.
But basically he demonstrated it. So one of the sales associates was walking on the tread while it was running. And what he did was he just took like a pen and stuck it down in the rear, in the guard. And it popped out, like it sort of pops away. So it's almost like this little metal cover, and it opened up. And then all of a sudden the belt just stopped.
Got it. Yeah.
So it was kind of a nice demonstration on how it works now when it's enabled.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you had gone in to see it. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
No, I mean, it's like 40-minute drive. So I wasn't going to.
Okay. No, that's great.
I wasn't going to hike up there just to see a demonstration, but.
It was great that you were able to get that.
But shout out to Steve for sending me the video and demonstrating kind of what it looks like in action. I'm curious to know if, I was surprised to see that they had the Tread Plus at the Jacob Javits Center last weekend for the marathon. So I was curious if I wonder if they had it installed already on the display model.
It was.
Of the Tread Plus.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was at the Javits. And they showed us there too. I didn't even think to take a video, but they kind of show, you're smarter than I am. What can I say? But I did go past and take a look at it. And I mean, the tread, it's exactly the same other than it has the rear guard. And you got to stop and think to yourself like, if they'd only done that in the first place,
or at least had added some sort of like tread pass. I was thinking like if they had only added that tread lock passcode feature, how many accidents or how many different things could have been avoided.
I know
with just that little password on there. But so now the Tread Plus should be in all showrooms as of the release of this recording. So as of November 10th. All the Peloton retail stores should have their Tread Plus back in the showroom. So the Michigan one's already got theirs in on Thursday. But Peloton now has officially added back the Tread Plus to their website. So there's a dedicated product page for it, onepeloton.com/tread-plus. And then addition to confirming our earlier report that last week that the device would cost $5,995 when it returns to market. The page also mentions, that'll be in showrooms, and you can try it out. And I don't know if they're going to let you do like a full run on it. They might just let you, walk on it in the showroom. But it'll be deliveries in early 2024, and that'll be from the existing about 10,000 units that have been, collecting dust in warehouses since the recall. Since they were pulled.
Since they stopped selling them.
Yeah.
All right, well, they're definitely...
You going to get your Tread Plus back, Amanda?
I don't know if I'm going to win that battle. I don't know if I'm going to win
for
that
the
battle.
Miami.
Yeah. No,
You probably have some downstairs neighbors
that I could try and get to it. Exactly. I'll go pay them.
that would drive you. They
would kill
crazy
me.
with the
They would kill
pounding.
me for sure.
Unless your building is all concrete, floors and walls.
Probably is, but no, they wouldn't be happy. I'd love to get the gym to put one in there. I mean, they do have a Slack treadmill. They have one of the life cycle Slack treadmills in there, but it's not the Peloton one. It's just not. It's just so different. Yeah. It's so different. All right. Well, moving on. Peloton are gearing up to launch the Row in the United Kingdom soon. So this anticipation comes as Peloton's UK warranties have been updated to include the Peloton Row among the applicable devices. So although there has been no official announcement regarding the release date, CEO Barry McCarthy had previously mentioned that the Row was undergoing certification tests in the UK. So we kind of knew that was happening. We were just kind of waiting for when it was going to happen. And now that the warranty's been added, we, definitely have an idea that that's coming any minute. Of course, we all know that Ben Aldis, we had, kind of announced that he appears to be preparing to add rowing classes to his portfolio, indicating that, again, Peloton might be planning to announce the availability of the Row in the UK soon. And a little secret that I got to find out was that he had a Row delivered to his home. So he is obviously practicing his rowing techniques before he actually gets on there to teach us how to do it. So the UK will now be the third market to gain access to the Row. Obviously, the States has been a year now. It was released back last September, and we got it around November, right? So November they started delivering them. So
yeah,
September,
just a year ago.
Yep. And then of course,
now Canada just recently.
Canada, exactly. Yep. So the exact date for the Row's official launch and pre-sale in the UK does remain unclear, but the inclusion of the Row in the UK warranty terms suggest that it could be pretty soon. Further updates regarding the Row's expansion to the UK will be shared, obviously, in more details as soon as we get them. So I know everyone's kind of biting at the bit to find out when it'll actually be on sale.
And for anyone curious about the rental program, if the Row could be added, one little tidbit to piggyback on that Row news that you shared, Amanda. So from the recent earnings call that Peloton just held, someone asked a question to Barry McCarthy about the rental program and the possibility of the tread or the Row. And he said, I think it's unlikely that we will extend, he refers to it as FaaS, which stands for Fitness as a Service, which basically means rentals, at least to treads. He said treads, the cost, the installation is more complex than the bike, so it'd be very unlikely that they would have a rental program for the tread. But he said it is possible we might extend it to the Row, possibly, but it's still very early, he said, in the life cycle of that product. And I think we have to learn more before we consider doing that. So it seems like it's a possibility not anytime soon, most likely.
All right. Well, Peloton has launched its 2023 holiday campaign. We all remember last year we had those little kind of figurines that everybody wanted of Alex and Robin and Hannah and John.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
The 2023 campaign is titled Work Out Your Way, and it's been produced in partnership with the Stink Studios. Celebrating the joy of movement and the freedom of working out without inhibitions. So I kind of like that, because you get to work out when you want to in your own time from home, etc. So I kind of like that. It's particularly aimed at providing an escape during the busy holiday season, emphasizing that Peloton is available whenever and wherever one chooses to work out. The campaign's main advertisement is available on Instagram, YouTube, and some other platforms, and it features a 60-second spot with Alex Toussaint and Kendall Toole. It is set to Eve's tambourine, and the ad showcases various forms of exercise, including cycling, walking, dancing, and strength training, highlighting the diverse way that folks can engage with Peloton workouts. The ad will also have 30 and 15-second versions airing in the United States and Canada across TV, digital, and social media. So Peloton's Vice President of Consumer Marketing, Ali Snuddy, explains that the campaign aims to present fitness as a fun and enjoyable activity, contrasting with the typical holiday themes of joy and togetherness or the usual fitness focus on goals. So the ad features Peloton's bike and tread, but notably the row is not included. So we got to see, folks on the bike and the tread, but the row was not, not part of that. The campaign follows, Peloton's previous campaigns, including, as I said, the campaign featuring Alex and Robin and John and Hannah for the UK. This one has Brett Gelman in a modern take. Oh, last year's one had Brett Gelman in a modern take of the Christmas Carol.
That was like the Scrooge.
The Christmas Carol.
I like that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I know that everyone thought it was you on the bike eating the chips. I did see a lot of comments on that. It's like, he didn't quite make it to the cart.
That one really hit home with the person snacking on potato chips. I thought it was fun. It had like members of all shapes and sizes, and they're all dancing and singing along to tambourine. And then when it got to one part of the lyric, it was cute. And then the older woman was like, "Gotta love that."
Yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
It seemed surprisingly overwhelmingly positive reaction from everyone.
From everybody.
It didn't seem like there was any criticism. So that was nice to see for a change.
Yeah.
Because everyone, there's always somebody being critical about something,
there was
whatever
not
Peloton
much
does.
To be critical about this one with Kendall and Alex at the forefront. It was pretty cool.
But very relatable. Yeah. Especially, snacking on the bike or, having some sugar or something or singing along. It's something a lot of us do.
Yeah.
So it was nice. So shifting gears a little bit to AmEx members. So there's some discounts right now. Peloton has teamed up with American Express to offer customers 2 free months of the Peloton digital app. So it's just for app subscription. Doesn't apply to, the all access membership. So specifically, customers of American Express can receive 2 complimentary months of the Peloton app, 1 or 50% off at the App Plus. So the offer is available now in the American Express portal. I know when Pelo Buddy posted some screenshots on the channel, there's a little bit of confusion. Folks didn't know if that was on the Peloton app, but this is through the Peloton. This is through your American Express account. Your login, your portal. Customers will receive $12 back if they spend $12 or more, meaning that both the App One, which normally costs $12.99 per month, and the App Plus subscription, which costs $24 per month, those tiers of Peloton's digital app qualify. So you can utilize the offer up to 2 times, which equates to a 2-month subscription to Peloton. And the offer expires at the end of January 2024, January 31st. So anyone interested should opt in as soon as you can, so you ensure that you receive the 2 full months of the offer. It's only to U.S., just a couple caveats. It's only U.S. AmEx cards are eligible for the offer. If you don't cancel your Peloton membership after the offer, your membership will automatically renew at the tier that you subscribe to, opted into. And the credit will appear on your AmEx billing statement within 90 days after the conclusion of the offer, after January 31st.
I was kind of excited to see that there was some kind of collaboration between American Express, because I do have an American Express card. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll kind of do what they did with Chase, where they'll, potentially invite folks, so you'll get an opportunity
some events.
I'm hoping that maybe that'll come to follow now that there's that collab between them. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But I saw the
Chase,
offer.
It was the slate, I think. It was a fee card.
Yeah.
It was one of the cards you have to pay an annual fee on, I think, with one of their slate offerings. Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. All right. Well, this next story I had to grab because honestly, I've waited 5 years for this. So Peloton commemorated the 5-year anniversary of its UK studios with a very special event to mark this milestone, a unique 2-for-1 ride featuring Ben Aldis and Leanne Hainsby. The 2-for-1 ride, which took place on Tuesday, November the 7th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, was the first for the engaged couple. So we have all been waiting patiently to see the two of them sit next to each other. We got to see Leanne with Cody. I don't think, has Ben ever done a 2-for-1 with anybody? I couldn't seem to remember. I was trying to go back and see.
But I want to say he has, but now I can't think of who it was with.
I will have to go back and check that.
He must have. I would think he has.
But seeing the two of them together, oh my goodness. So just to backtrack, Peloton had expanded to London back in November of 2018, opening a new studio and hiring Ben and Leanne as the first UK-based instructors. Since then, Peloton has significantly increased its presence in the UK, moving into the new studio space and adding many, many more instructors. But this ride was so special because it basically took you through their, just their relationship, because as we all know, they kind of connected when they came out to the States to train, before they were launched. They weren't quite sure about each other back then.
And secretly, when did they start couple? When did they become a couple? Was it?
So it happened apparently after they came back. So I think that they hung out for
after
6
they came back
months
from
together.
Homecoming 2019.
Yeah. Well, no,
Okay.
I think it was after they came back from their training, just from the training of the two of them, and then they started obviously they started dating and moved in together pretty quickly because, as we all know, through the pandemic,
is high in London.
Well, yeah, maybe that was it. Peloton weren't paying enough, but as we all know, we kind of caught them out, or they like to say they fooled us, which they did on the ride, by recording from home and seeing the shelves, and we joked, they joked about that in the ride, which was hysterical. For me, the most special part of that whole ride was Ben singing to Leanne. I mean, he has no goddamn voice to save a life.
The whole new world.
Right?
Yeah.
But when he sang A Whole New World, oh my God, the tears were like pouring down my face. It just took me back. That was that sentimental little bit of it. They're adorable together. I mean, she busses him around like anything. And, he tries to stand his ground, but, we all know he has no hopes in doing that. But they are adorable together. And I got to say, they dressed the part. They were fun. It was definitely a fun ride. You weren't on there for a workout. You were on there purely to listen to the stories, have fun, and enjoy the experience. But they did an amazing job.
It was great. The playlist was great because it was tied to a lot of memories at different points in time.
Yes.
And that they mentioned I couldn't remember the name of the studio that they were in
Oxford
before
Circus.
PSL opened.
Oxford Circus.
Celebro. It was Celebro. That's what they called it.
Oh, was that the name? Okay.
I don't know if that's like the gym or whatever, but that's the place where like the walls would vibrate if they had the music too loud.
Well, they joked about how they used to have to get changed in the restroom,
in the
bathrooms. I mean, it was tiny. It was tiny. I mean, I had been into the studio. I was fortunate enough to have gone into that studio numerous times on work trips to London. And it was so tiny. But and as they said, they had no idea that they were going to be there for as long as they were there. And then, of course, when they were ready to move, the pandemic hit, and it was extended for so much longer. But in continuation with the celebration, I think we mentioned last week that, Peloton are offering additional classes throughout November, which do feature that special, Peloton 5-year UK badge. And it was interesting because, we always celebrate the Peloversaries of the instructors. And this kind of was nice to just celebrate the entire UK entity, which I thought was kind of cool. So, a lot of key moments in there.
I knew I wouldn't want to miss taking that one live because I knew it would be very special. But I thought it was cute in the pre-show when, Ben, he started doing some shout outs. And then he said to Leanne, do you want to take a couple? And she just started with one that he had just shouted out. And he said, I just did that one. And everyone starts laughing at her.
Oh my God.
And then she said, our goal, he was like, our goal is to have fun, to have a good sweat. And she goes, yeah, our goal is just to still be together by the end of this ride. But I thought it was really cute. She gave him some really sweet looks. She looked over at him a few different times, and that really warmed my heart. I thought it was really sweet the way she just turned and just looked at him, while he was instructing.
Well, of course, I'm a very lucky ducky because I will get to see both of them this week in DC when they come for Ben's
the book tour.
Tour. So Leanne will be in DC with Ben, and I am so excited that I will get to see them both there. So
and
fun.
One little nugget of information that they dropped sort of very casually at the end of the ride. I don't know if they made mention of this anywhere else, but they did announce the marriage. They said they booked their wedding for spring.
For next spring. Yeah. I did hear that. Good for you to remember.
Which is probably the 5-year anniversary of their engagement.
I know. It feels like it's been that long, right? Yeah. I mean, shame. They have endured so much, but look at them. I mean,
but good for them, finally locking it down in the springtime. Now, I don't know if they're going to have a big to do. Maybe you'll find out some details this weekend.
I'll have to get the details next week.
If they're just going to elope somewhere.
But
good for them. It was a great ride. And I posted a little highlight reel of some of my favorite moments from the ride on my Instagram page.
You did good on that. You did good.
See.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well, shifting gears to a new artist series that just dropped. This past Thursday, it began. Thursday, November 9th, we had DMX. It included 7 classes over 5 modalities, including 2 in German. And there will be 2 premieres. Most of the classes for the series did occur live. We've got a complete list of them, but the first one listed here, it was a 10-minute DMX arms and shoulder strength with Cliff. Most of these all happened on the 9th. There was a 30-minute run with Jocelyn Thompson Rule that afternoon at 2:30 Eastern. That was live. A 20-minute live DMX ride in German with Mia Lazar, a 20-minute DMX full body strength with Jess Sims that dropped, that premiered, a 30-minute live yoga flow with Chelsea Jackson Roberts, 30-minute ride with Tunde that happened live in the 7 p.m. time slot on Thursday the 9th, and then a 20-minute DMX row with Adrian that premiered also on the evening of November 9th. And there was also 2 lane break classes that also came out with for this one, a 20-minute lane break DMX run. That one dropped on November 10th. And then on the 13th, Monday the 13th, a 20-minute lane break DMX ride is dropping at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And there'll also be a artist series badge. I don't think it's anything, not a special DMX badge. I think it's just a generic, artist series badge that you'll earn for taking any of these ones.
Nice.
And then also, in other news, Listening Party is back. So anyone who's a fan of the Listening Party content will be pleased to know that it is returning. It's going to be an on-demand release to the library on the first Friday of every month. So Peloton shared the news via their Peloton Studios Insta stories this past week. They said, here first in new Listening Party classes that spotlight today's most exciting artists and the superstars of tomorrow. New classes on demand every first Friday of the month. 6 classes became available in the on-demand library as of Friday, November 3rd, with content across 4 modalities, 2 classes of them, 2 in German. And it was an extra 10 listening party ride with Emma, a extra 10 listening party run with Hannah Frankson, a 5-minute party row with Katie, a 10-minute listening party yoga flow with Dennis, a listening party run with Tobias in German, and a 10-minute listening party ride with Charlotte, also in German.
So, excuse my ignorance, but I don't understand. What's the purpose of these listening parties? What did I miss?
So it's kind of like it's getting out music. My impression is it's like getting out music that you might have missed, like new music that maybe is not super like mainstream or commercial, like Taylor Swift or, P. Diddy or, some of like the major artists. That get maybe a lot of radio play that dominate the charts.
Got it.
That's kind of my impression. So it might be like a big popular or an up and coming artist that is just starting to get big.
Got it. Which I've always said I love
Emma,
that Peloton does this and exposes folks to different types of genres that you wouldn't have necessarily listened to.
Emma started it. I think Emma started the series just before the pandemic, like in January of 2020, I feel like.
Okay.
And she started with like a 30-minute live ride, I feel like on Friday mornings, maybe. And this is kind of what it's evolved to.
Got it. Yeah. All right. Well, next up, a new series was introduced of audio-only outdoor runs titled New York City's 5 Boroughs. So it coincided with the New York City Marathon. The classes are available in the on-demand library, and they feature runs in each of New York City's 5 boroughs. So the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. They are 30 minutes each, and they're led by different instructors, including playlists specific to the respective borough. The classes were released back on Monday, November the 6th at 8 a.m. Eastern. And the instructors for these runs are as follows. So Camilla Roman runs you through the Bronx. Jess King took on Brooklyn. Adrian Williams hits the pavements in Manhattan. Maddie Giacomo takes you through Queens. And Selena Samuela does Staten Island. So I have not had an opportunity to jump on any of those yet. Have you, John? Have you taken a look at those?
No.
Yeah. So
I have not.
My understanding is that they are literally like, it's like an outdoor scenic thing, except in those boroughs, getting to kind of what you would typically be doing on the marathon. So I'm looking forward to.
This is only available on the hardware. Is this one of those types of outdoor? Is this the type of outdoor scenic, like a scenic walk or run? Like normally they've only made available on the Tread or the Tread Plus?
I think this is audio only. I think this is. I think this is audio only. It's on the app. Sorry. Yep, it is.
Okay.
It is on the app.
I was thinking that this was part of the scenic content where, they have a whole crew following them and.
I thought it was that too, to be honest with you. And I actually haven't had an opportunity to take a look and see what it was all about. So
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to add with that. But it is kind of a nice way to tack on, to the fact that the marathon was just, it was just last week and gave, folks an opportunity to kind of run those areas. So that should be fun. Maybe next week we can share more, but I have not had an opportunity to take a look at what they were yet. Or
Selena got stuck with Staten Island. I saw a sign from, I don't know, somebody on the marathon route that said like, congratulations, like at least you're out of Staten Island. No shade on Staten Island.
I did. So this was actually, just to finish that bit of the story off, it was actually the release is part of Peloton's multi-year partnership with New York Roadrunners, which also includes outdoor only and scenic classes filmed on the marathon. Okay, there we go, from the marathon course. So the first class released under the partnership was the TCS New York City Marathon Highlights Run. But this is kind of done in conjunction with that partnership. And then, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the show, of course, last Sunday was, in fact, the New York City Marathon. And we had a little surprise runner hit the street, Tunde. So Tunde kept it very much under wraps that she was going to be running the marathon. We found out literally a day, if not hours, before she hit the pavement. But she did share on Instagram how this was one of the hardest things she has ever done. She said there were many times that she thought she was just going to give up. And I saw her at mile 17. That's kind of where I was, spectating from and cheering. And she was walking when I saw her. And it was funny because the app, I thought the app was accurate. It's not. It kind of estimates when somebody's coming past. So, it'll tell you, where they're at. And I thought that she had passed already and I'd missed her. And then we saw her, kind of walking. And
maybe she had slowed down. Yeah.
She had slowed down. Exactly. But this part, I just think is amazing. So that was at mile 17. And clearly she got to mile 20, which I'll talk about in a minute, which is where the Peloton instructors were. But about 800 meters left in the race, she shared on Instagram that her spirit was completely broken until a Peloton member named Mandy ran past her and saw that Tunde was struggling. She looked into Tunde's eyes and she said, Tunde, come on, come with me. I met you in Chicago. I need you to come with me. And there it was, that boost of energy that she said she just needed to push through and to get to the finish line. Tunde said that Peloton tries to encapsulate the power of the community in their ads and promotions. But she said the piece that sometimes the instructors forget is the part where the members help save the instructors right back. And Mandy, leaderboard name Mandy Rose, did exactly that. I had the opportunity to reach out to Mandy when I was preparing for the story. And her response to me was, Amanda, this entire thing has been unreal. I never thought that just doing the right thing and supporting someone would warrant so much attention. I am so proud of her. I'd like to think many others would have done the same in my shoes. So we all think, Mandy, that you are pretty damn cool and rather humble in what you achieve, because how fantastic to be able to say that they crossed the finish line with Tunde on her first marathon. Mandy is a marathon runner. She's done many. I think she's done 26 or 18. I think she's done 18 marathons and a couple like really long ones too. And you know what? I guess Mandy showed us that together we do go far. I mean, it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. They embraced at the end. They gave each other a massive hug. And it was just beautiful to watch. So huge shout out, to Mandy and of course to Tunde for completing the marathon, and not in a bad time either. I think she came in at 4 hours, 41 minutes. I think it was something around that she ended up coming in. But the story's not over.
I wonder why she kept it under wraps. Why she didn't give anyone.
So I kind of got a little bit that I'd heard because I was, around that weekend. She didn't really train for it. She's been so busy. She's had so much on her plate, but it was one of those things that I think she committed mentally to it, and she was going to do it regardless. So I don't think that she had, truly trained appropriately. I mean, she's not a runner, and she just kind of took this on within the last few months. So, I think it can be overwhelming, and then you commit to something and it's like, okay, now what do I do? I got to kind of do, even if it's for yourself, I got to kind of do it. But she was accompanied, of course, by some other incredible instructors, and we have to give them a shout out. So to Mariana, to Rad, to Susie Chan, Jeffrey,
Selena,
and Selena. They all did an absolutely fantastic job. It was truly amazing to get to watch them, on the course. There was also Mike Ortiz, which is one of the strength instructor producers over at the studio. Mike was running, of course, Jackie Moore, who is content over at Peloton as well, has done a couple marathons, and Jackie was there. And then, of course, at mile 20, Peloton had their own cheering squad with an amazing turnout of instructors there. So DJ John Michael set up a DJ booth with music blaring, megaphones in hand. We saw Camilla, Kirsten Ferguson, Maddie and Matt, Rebecca Kennedy, Dennis, Jess Sims, Alex Kowarski, Katie Wong, Logan Aldridge, and Callie Gullickson. Were all there cheering them on, kind of at that 20 as they kind of came around that corner over in Queens. They were all there. And lastly, we have to give another huge shout out to Becs Gentry, who absolutely crushed hosting ESPN Live on Marathon Day. Bex had shared on her Instagram that this was a lifelong dream of being able to commentate not on any sport, but the sport of running. And she got to fulfill that on Sunday. I wish that I could have... Austin ran too.
Austin, he ran the marathon.
He did. Austin did run, and he did, he got an amazing time. He was like 3 remember exactly. I'll pull it up. But yeah, I mean, it was amazing to watch. I think that they did as I said at the beginning of the show, it was one of those, I had chills. Like as I saw, I think Rad was one of the first that I saw come past where I was. Oh my goodness, what an experience to know people. I mean, I knew about 14 people running. So it was a really cool experience to get to cheer them on and, get to see them kind of get to the end. So, pretty cool.
Well, Peloton instructors Bex Gentry and Selena Samuela, they're going to be at a meet and greet coming to a showroom near you in Scottsdale, Arizona later this month. Peloton recently shared the news via the Peloton Studios Instagram page. It's taking place on Wednesday, November 15th at the Peloton Scottsdale showroom, and it's broken into two separate parts. There's a discussion and Q&A from 4 to 6 p.m. local time, Arizona time, and then there is a meet and greet from 6 to 7 p.m. and it's an RSVP. It's not you don't have to buy a ticket, but you do have to RSVP while there's still available spaces. But members are asked to limit themselves to just going to one of them. So there gives the opportunity for enough people to go to one or the other. The event description for the first part, which is the Train Like a Mother panel and Q&A reads, join Peloton instructors Bex and Selena. Start the evening by mingling with members while you shop the looks Bex and Selena love, plus take 15% off any in-store apparel purchased during the event. Next, Bex and Selena will talk about how being a parent has impacted their training. They'll discuss what their workouts were like during pregnancy, post-birth, and as a parent. Come with questions and get in on the convo. And then for the second part, the meet and greet, it's meet one-on-one with Bex and Selena, have them autograph an apparel item you purchased at the event and get an individual photo. It's sure to be a night to remember. And then, I don't know. I didn't check to see. I imagine that the RSVPs are probably full at this point.
Yeah, they were full.
It's right around the corner.
I did check. I'm curious, what would be if you had to pick one or the other, would you rather want to go listen to the panel or would you rather want to do a meet and greet? I was just curious to know what others thought.
Well, see, if I were a mom, maybe I'd be more interested in the panel, asking a question.
True.
But
Good point.
I like the more like one-on-one time. I would want more of like an interaction and to chat with them, as brief as it probably will be for that part. I would probably, if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably just, want to get a photo and just have a chance to say hi and, have a quick chat.
Yeah.
For me. What about you?
Yeah, I think that for me too, the meet and greet for me would be something that I would probably want to do. But you're right. I think if you're a runner and you're, as a mom, especially for new moms that are potentially, out there running, it may be nice to hear what they have to say versus, getting to meet them. It was an interesting way that they did it. So that's why I was kind of curious to know what others thought. All right. Well, it seems that a new update for the login screen has been rolled out on the Becs.
Yeah, really jazzed it up.
And the Row. I have not seen it yet. So mine has not yet updated. So it replaces that standard white login screen that we're all been used to forever and ever and ever with a dynamic design featuring purple, blue, and black colors.
This kind of feels like a lane break.
Right. It did. I did see it on what Chris had posted. Yeah. So, as I said, it's kind of been reported that it's been randomly being dropped across different devices over, this last week. Along with the color scheme change, the member profile icons are slightly larger. There's also a new boot up animation featuring a rotating Peloton P, which appears when the device is turned on. Additionally, there are some slight changes to the home screen. So the weekly streak section in the upper left corner displays new colors and shading, connecting each day based on the active streak. The upper right corner showing upcoming live and encore classes now includes different images, such as active shots of the instructors rather than that standard headshot that they used to have. And new icons for different class types. So live, encore, premiere have been added. The text.
Yeah, I did like the live one because on Thursday morning for the Jess classes that I did on the tread, when they're live, you see like a little red recording button that says live,
cool.
like it's kind of blinking. Yeah,
okay,
just to signify that it's a live class.
Okay, all right. Well, I can't wait to see what it looks like. What's the text throughout the home screen is slightly bigger, bolder. Did you notice that?
I did notice that the text was very bold at the top where it tells you your numbers for each modality, like your current count. It was very black and bold lettering. It definitely popped out more.
Okay, I noticed that on the app. So obviously they're kind of doing it about. And then also the icons at the bottom, so for programs, classes, more have also been updated. So that's kind of cool. Furthermore, Peloton is updating, or at least has added a title for the NBA All-Star classes. So that NBA League Pass, the League Pass with the Peloton Entertainment feature, indicating its upcoming availability as part of Peloton's new partnership with the NBA and WNBA. So that has also been added. So yeah, I'm excited to get to see that. I have not had access.
All our devices, the Becs, the Row, were all updated. But when I got on the tread on Thursday morning, I did get prompted to update.
Got it. Okay.
And then I just installed it, and it was pretty quick.
Okay.
One thing unrelated, we mentioned last week how there was the font on the leaderboard on classes, it seemed different, and how a lot of tags and leaderboard names now were cut off when they previously weren't. I noticed that's gone back.
They heard you, John Pruitt. So now
some of my tags are no longer. So it looks like they fixed that. Whatever that was. Whatever happened with that.
All right, congrats to the intern that took it back and said John Pruitt wasn't happy that Straight Dudes for Cody wasn't there in full.
Yeah, now that full tag is on full display. First word problems, but just thought I'd circle back on that because everyone was so concerned about it.
I like that. Yeah. Too funny.
It seems like last week we had some issues with some outages, some problems. People were not happy last week trying to access the app and the hardware. So it looks like another outage happened on November 4th of last week. It appeared to be impacting the app and hardware. So a lot of members, the app came back up, but the bike, tread, the row, the guide weren't able to load classes. It seemed to start around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then as of an hour later, an outage had not yet been posted, though it was on the weekend. And then just shortly thereafter, they officially posted an outage, but only noted issues with the homepage. And this was the third outage in a week for Peloton. We previously had mentioned there was one on November 2nd, October 30th. A lot of times just classes wouldn't load, or it just took an exorbitant amount of time for it to load. But yeah, this week, this past week seemed there was no issue. So whatever it was, they seem to have
fixed it. I wonder if some of that had to do with this whole change that they were doing with the hardware, with the new rollout. I wonder if one had to do with the other. All right. That damn library maintenance. That of course happened again. 225 classes filmed between September 6th and the 15th of 2020 were removed. The removal included various class types, but again, certain special series and classes such as Wycliffe Jean, J Balvin Artist Series, XOXO Cody, Power Zone classes, and some longer and randomly selected shorter classes were preserved. Notably, the list of saved classes included Manny Majacomo's 10-minute cool-down run, Robin Arzon's 20-minute 90s hip-hop run. DT has a 60-minute yoga flow that was saved, as well as Becs Gentry has a 60-minute endurance run. And then Kristen McGee's 75-minute yoga flow was also preserved. So I think everyone's just kind of accepted that they're going to go on there, and stuff they may have gone back to is not going to be there any longer.
Yeah. I know it's not. Somebody was just posting something about I don't know if it was like a Rebecca Kennedy arms program, or maybe it was an Andy strength program that had gotten purged. And, it was like the second comment was Pelo Buddy's, weekly purge update. Yeah.
Just go there. Them. Right. Just go there. Yeah. Too funny.
Your trusted source. Well, it seems that more German dubbed content will be coming in November. So Chris Lewis had noticed just this little mention in the FAQ section of the Peloton support page for the closed captions feature for classes. One of the question is what content is being dubbed in German, and we had reported last week about the Arms with Tunde program is going to be dubbed in German, so it's going to have somebody else speaking in German, basically Tunde's voice, whatever she was saying in English, but it will be in German. But they did say with more classes to come in late November, so it'll be interesting to see what other content besides that program we might get dubbed in German, whether it's maybe some rides or maybe a different modality.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. And then just having been at the studio last week, sorry, I won't rub it in. I can share that Peloton Studios New York have implemented some minor but notable changes to enhance the in-person class experience. So some of the updates include this new pre-class announcement. So both the bike and tread studios at PSNY now feature a new pre-class announcement system. So previously, during the setup period before classes actually happened, Peloton staff...
This is over the PA in the studio, right?
Correct. So previously, Peloton staff would just assist members, and a production crew member would kind of provide all the pre-class information over a loudspeaker.
He would kind of read from his little script.
From his notes on a microphone. Now, the instructors have recorded their own introductions, played just before they enter the studio. It definitely adds a theatrical and polished feel.
It's like you're in line at Disney.
To the class setup. And it was quite funny because I think Susie Chan said in her run on Monday, she goes, as you prepare for the show, and I'm like, I'm going to be sweating frigging bullets here. There's no show, honey. It may be a show for you, but it ain't no show for us. But it was funny how that was kind of in her wording. But they do announce, the class setup, and it's really there to kind of excite members, for the instructor's arrival. And then depending on the instructor, they kind of like, put a spotlight down, and the instructor kind of comes into the spotlight, and then it kind of runs into the, into the studio and onto, either onto the bike or onto the tread. So it's definitely very theatrical, but it's fun. It's kind of cool.
I think it's better. Nobody ever listens to the person on the mic
anyway, and it's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing for them anyway. So at least this way, there's like some kind of excitement.
I'm sure a lot of them didn't like having to, to go on microphone. So I'm sure it takes a little bit of pressure off that staff having to do that.
And then they've also color-coded lines for studio entry into the bike studio. So members, as you know, when you check in, for those members who haven't been yet, you get a card. You get a color-coded card based on different criteria. So whether it's a milestone or a first-time visit or just a regular card, you'll either get a black, red, or white card, and then special invited guests get a silver card. So the system now replaces the previous method where members would kind of just wait around at the entrance and block the way, and it was very annoying. They now have new lines that are designated to kind of facilitate a more orderly and efficient entry into the studio. I do believe that these changes reflect Peloton's ongoing efforts to improve the member experience at the studio. And, members reported, and I asked folks what they thought about it when I was there. I certainly liked the idea that you kind of lined up, you're kind of like Southwest, where you have your lines, or
AB,
or JetBlue, your Mosaic, or you just regular boarding. But I think that it definitely is an enhancement, and the excitement and organization of attending an in-class person definitely is a little bit better. So
and it's just for black and red, though. I didn't see signage for white.
There is a white. So on the other side of the door, so the black and red is kind of on the right of the door, and then the white, they put everybody the whites by where you pick up the shoes. So,
but this is only for cycling, because I thought I saw a comment in the Pelo Buddy post that there was something for tread.
No, there was nothing for tread.
No, okay.
There was nothing for tread.
Gotcha.
Tread does tend to seem a little bit more orderly, but remember, there were only 17 treads versus 30-something bikes. I think they're 36
But everyone
bikes.
Starts to camp out at the door
Correct.
so early.
It became so annoying.
There's always one or two.
Right. Jabronis.
Yeah. It was like that at PSL. Every time I went to do a German class, there was always this one woman, I can't remember her name, but she'd always be there so early. She has very curly hair. And I would think to myself, oh, she's going to get the one spot that I want, the one bike or tread.
Did she? Did she?
Yeah.
Did you not say to her, do you not know who I am?
Oh, no. I was cordial.
Too funny. No, all right.
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right. So we, on Thursday, we got a new apparel drop, a part 2 of the Peloton Lululemon X collection. So Peloton, I think the day before on Tuesday or Wednesday, they posted sort of a cryptic message about an upcoming drop, and it was all these like silver balloons and a silver Peloton P balloon, basically like stay tuned. So everybody was kind of wondering what that meant. But yeah, on Thursday, we got the official announcement. It's the Hello Holidays. It says, get in the spiriting with joy, inducing wish list. Worth arrivals, show all the new Lululemon X Peloton apparel. It looked like there's a Lulu Energy bra and matching Alling leggings in sort of like this purple color that Jess Sims was wearing, which it sounded like it sold out immediately because everyone was pissed off right away that there was nothing available in their sizes. And I did notice people were mad about the sizing.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Not a lot of
plus sizing,
larger sizes there, which seems to be a common complaint about the Lulu partnership. Not a lot of bigger sizes,
which I gotta say really frustrates me. We certainly have a plus size instructor, and we should be promoting plus size to be able to work out, and they get excited about apparel. So I'm not quite sure I understand yet. I think it may be a Lululemon issue and not necessarily a Peloton issue, from what I believe, because I know Peloton have been great in incorporating plus sizes in their apparel. So
because that didn't really seem to be much of a complaint with Peloton's own stuff.
No.
Yeah, hopefully they can lean on Lululemon.
Yeah, and get that fixed.
Alex, there's a few items. Alex Karwoski was in a License to Train hoodie with Surge line shorts. Alex Toussaint was modeling a city sweat pullover with matching joggers. Just, they look like, silver hoodie and sweatpants. Callie was in this cute, it's called a scuba oversized half zip hoodie with a Lululemon Align high rise shorts that were in blue. So a lot of cute stuff. Nice.
All right. I guess we go straight into Instructor in the News. There's so much here. All right, so let's go into it. And we'll start off with Tunde. So it looks like marathon runner is not the only thing that she'll be adding to her resume these days. She has now expanded her career by becoming a contributor and guest correspondent for Access Hollywood. So she casually announced this new role on Instagram, where she also shared her excitement, which I was like over the moon about, her first interview with R&B icon Usher. She got to sit with Usher, who she had a kind of chat with. As we know, he is set to perform at the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show. And the interview, which was 13 minutes long, is available online. So if you hadn't heard it yet or grabbed it, you can certainly go ahead and get it. In it, Usher discusses his preparation for the upcoming performance, describing it as the hardest and most celebratory 13 minutes of his life. Tunde's role as a guest correspondent suggests that she will likely be involved in more interviews, assignments, and projects in the future. So this collaboration also isn't Usher's first with Peloton. He has previously been featured in an artist series, and he made a cameo, if you all remember, in the dance cardio classes, which was kind of fun with Ali.
With Ali
and Emma. Ali and Emma. All right, so Tunde's new role at Access Hollywood follows a trend of Peloton instructors branching out into, online media and TV, etc. Personalities. Ali Love is contributing towards the Today Show. Jess Sims is working with Good Morning America, and of course ESPN's College Game Day. So really a nice accolade for Tunde, though, in being able to do this. Really cool.
I love Jess Sims, though, because that's one where you can interact with her
at College Game
which
Day.
Is so fun with College Game Day. And I love, Game Day is all about the sign, people bringing the signs and all the funny things that they put. And I love the Jess Sims signs that people make every week. Like last week in Alabama, someone just made a sign like, I traveled 900 miles just for Jess Sims. And then when they were in Washington in the Seattle area for whoever Washington was playing, I think it was Oregon, maybe that weekend, someone had a movie poster of Sleepless in Seattle, but they took out Meg Ryan's head and put Jess Sims, and it said Simless. It said Simless in Seattle.
Oh, that is too cute.
And she likes to highlight her favorite signs from, her favorite Jess Sims signs from each weekend. So I think that's, and she's very interactive with the folks there. So it's great.
Very cool.
It's great to see that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hopefully they come to Ann Arbor in a couple weeks.
I think you were hoping, weekend. Right? Yeah.
Yes, for Ohio State, Michigan. So I'll definitely go down there. And the You Get To crew, which is her instructor group, they now have this like official flag that someone volunteers to basically fly it.
Oh, that's so
from
cool.
whatever location. So they mail it. They mail it to the next person. So last week, in Alabama, someone had like this massive long pole that they attached it to, and it was just basically flying in the background the whole broadcast.
Wow.
So that person, whoever had that honor last week, went all out with it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Kind of fun.
Well, maybe you'll get to fly that flag. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe Jackie will.
Jackie, because she's a big Jess.
Throw her hat in the. Put her hat in there and see.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, Cody and Emma were having a little fun on the Instagram Reels this week. They posted this little video where they're just walking and they're saying different things like, we're Peloton instructors. And they would go, we don't give you shout outs because you have a complicated leaderboard name. And it would cut to her walking and she'd go, we're Peloton instructors and all of our colleagues are equally as hot. And then I think it ended with Cody saying like, we're Peloton instructors. Like, my name is Cody. It's not effing. And they just bleeped him, whatever wrong name. Yeah. I think his biggest pet peeve is when someone calls him Corey by accident.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was just a funny random reel that they put out there this week.
All right, good. Well, Matt Wilpers and Andy Spear are offering specialized strength exercises for skiers. It's going to be done on Instagram throughout November. As the ski season approaches, they aim to prepare enthusiasts with targeted strength training to enhance performance and reduce injury risk. I kind of really like this. I think it's cool. So the exercises are not official Peloton skiing classes, but they do complement Peloton's existing strength programs. So every Friday in November, Andy and Matt will post at least one exercise specifically designed for skiers. The first video features a pogo hop and a side plank with a leg raise. So this initiative originated from Matt Wilpers, who is frequently asked about strength exercises beneficial for skiers. So he collaborated with Andy, whom he says he considers to be his favorite strength instructor. So that was kind of a nice shout out for Andy from Matt. As I said, while these exercises are not part of an official Peloton program for skiers, they are recommended as an addition to regular strength training routines, especially for those hitting the slopes. So Peloton offers various strength training programs, and a detailed list can, of course, be found on Pelo Buddy.
It's great. I like those weekly tips.
Yeah,
usually, like I know Matt and Dennis would do a lot of them, from the rooftop.
Nice.
At Peloton HQ, when the weather was nice.
Yeah.
Well, Susie Chan, she was recently interviewed on the podcast, The Starting Line. And some of the description in the podcast interview, it says single mom Susie was in her mid-30s. By her own admission, she was lost, smoking, drinking, and without direction. And then her brother convinced her to run her first half marathon with him, and she got hooked from there. And I listened to the first, the first 30 minutes of it, and it was interesting because the interviewer, said, we know all about Susie now, her path to Peloton, but, like the early days, which I had never heard of her, growing up. And she said she started out saying how she grew up on the grounds of a mental hospital.
Wow.
And she goes, I usually never bring it up because it always takes so much time to give all this background about it. But she said her father is Hong Kong Chinese and her mom is English, and they met when they were both nurses. And they were both going through nursing school, and they got settled on this big compound in Britain of this mental hospital, for elderly and for mentally ill people. So they had, houses there. They had housing for the families, and she would walk to school about a half mile away. But she kind of grew up in this mental hospital facility that closed in the 80s, she said. But, she would help her parents on the weekends sometimes, passing out chocolates to the elderly folks there on the elderly ward.
Aww.
It was just kind of an interesting, take that I had never heard before, that she had never talked about. So it was definitely an interesting one.
That's so awesome. Well, it was really fun to see. She brought her daughter Lily to the States with her on this trip. So she was there to cheer her on at the marathon. And then she had her in the studio on Monday when she did her run. And she was in the control room. And it was really cute because, that period where they go, control room, kind of, are you there? And Lily goes, hi, Mommy, it's Lily.
Oh, and she chimed in.
And it was very sweet to see. I mean, Susie is just
How old is her daughter?
I think she's about 16, 17, maybe. She's she's either right out of high school or just in college, kind of around that age. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere around there. but she's adorable.
Gotcha.
And they had I think they had a really fun time in the city together. So I know that they had done some sightseeing. They went to the Momo. I think they went to the Met. They went to the come on, Amanda. Croc store. That was the word I was looking for. They went to the Croc store. It's a big thing with Anna Frankson. So it was quite funny. I know. Anyway, all right. And to round up instructor in the news, Kirsten Ferguson. She got to speak at the And Scape House. And she spoke about wellness and how fitness has saved her life, as well as breaking the fear barrier when it comes to running. So she was a cyclist. She was not a runner, and kind of cool to see her. Yeah, kind of cool to see her, kind of in this new modality, and her fear that she had prior to Peloton and where she is today, which is.
When she auditioned for Peloton, though, was she auditioned as a tread?
So I think that she auditioned as a cycling, and they gave her tread. And if I remember in an old interview that I'd seen, she kind of was a little, gun shy, and she's done amazing, obviously, at it. But she's clearly an athlete. But yeah, so it was interesting. All right, Mr. Prue, let's go ahead and go straight into picks of the week. Do you want to kick it off? There are no names, but just take the first three and we'll go from there, all right?
All right, so first up, a DT's 20-minute 1989 Taylor's version Pilates from November 2nd. Sarah Allen Sams gave us this one. She said, great class by DT with a great Taylor Swift playlist. And then Kira Michelle's 20-minute alternative yoga flow, also from November 2nd. Got this from Armajar 3. She said, good class. Missed her while she's been away from the yoga mat. And then Callie's 30-minute 1989 Taylor's version upper body strength from November 2nd. Got this from Sam Cush. They said, great class. Didn't want it to end.
Awesome. Annie Loves 30-minute 1989 Taylor's version ride. That was from the 2nd of November. Lindsay T. Gamble and Christina A.K. Both recommended this one. They said, amazing vibes, 10 out of 10 experience, just so good. And of course, it was really fun to get to see Andrew sitting up front and smiling away at his gorgeous bride. That's Allie's husband. And then Rebecca Kennedy, her 10 minutes glutes and leg strength from the 3rd. This one came in from Bertha C. Runs MD. Annie said, reminiscent of her other bodyweight 10-minute glutes and legs class, but this was half body weight and half the weight. Super effective burn. And then Dennis Morton's 10-minute listening party yoga flow. This one was also from the 3rd at 10 a.m. It came from Pat Flows 72, and they said, so glad the listening party classes are back, and we're getting other instructors involved as well.
All right. Pedal to Paris gave us this next one. It's Jess King's 30-minute house ride from November 3rd. She said, Jess is always peak JK in a house ride. The format felt like a sweat steady ride in disguise. So much energy and great message. Mila the Czar's 45-minute groove ride in German from November 3rd. We got this from ClickStar. They said just a fun, feel-good dance ride. And then Bradley Rowe's 30-minute 2010s ride from November 3rd. We got this from Armajar 3. She said, great playlist with Bieber, Perry, Sheeran, and more.
Nice. And then Armajar 3 was out with Anna Greenberg, 30-minute evening yoga flow from the 3rd. She said, Anna's evening yoga flows are always bliss, and this one was no exception. And then Jesson's Saturday 60s, it was a 90s tread boot camp from the 4th of November. Dippin' Dot 22 and OMG in app. Does that was looks the OMG in app? I think it says. I can't quite.
OMG in app.
In app.
Sure.
OMG in app. Great programming. All right, am I going to get this one right, John? Benny Adami's 30-minute Schlager ride. I'm not sure if you...
Schlager.
No, I said Schlager and it's Schlager. I got it wrong. Okay. Did you see his reel? I made it to Benny's reel. Did you see that?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no. What did he do?
Really? Come on, baby. You gotta get with the
I
program.
saw his one where he posted his Hollister modeling picture, Abercrombie photo.
Honey, you got to go back to his. His feed. He took when we
Did he
first
post a video clip of you?
Of me, baby, and my pronunciation of Schlager when he did his first one, but this time he had an English one. This one came from Spin Lovin' Mama. The Schlager ride was from November the 4th. And they said, don't miss this ride. Benny's joy and energy are infectious, and it's in English.
I ended up doing he had 2 live rides that morning, but his earlier one, I think at 10 a.m. on Saturday, it was a 30-minute 80s ride, but it was in German. I did that one.
Oh, okay.
Because he also played a song request for me. He played some Bronski beat for me.
Oh, too funny. Too funny. Yeah. So Jeffrey and I actually did a little video, me pronouncing it correctly, and we sent it to him. So he'll have to update his reel on how I pronounce it.
I guess Schlager, yeah, that sounds right, because it's Goldschlager. It's not Goldschlager.
Right.
Goldschlager. Okay.
All right.
Am I up now?
You're up, Selena.
Selena Samuela's 30-minute rock walk from November 4th. We got this from Megan Bowens and Oval. They said great music, motivational, and had 2 good hill efforts. And then Sam Yo's 60-minute rock ride from November 5th from Panders Andy. He said the playlist was awesome, but what made it so special was the innovative coaching. Sam planned it so that you could ride it as either 3 separate but connected classes with short rests as his usual rock rides, as a continuous nonstop class, or as a PZ ride with zones. It was really fabulous. We need more 60s from Sam. Amazing in-studio experience. And then Chelsea Jackson Roberts, 30-minute The Chelsea set, step by step from November 6th. We got this from Shannon 72 Wilson. She said the new series is so great. Can't wait for the next one. I noticed a lot of instructors giving praise to Chelsea, doing this class in their Instagram stories this week. So it seems like it's got a good buzz.
It got a good one. All right. And then my boy, Alex Toussaint, 45-minute hip-hop ride from the 6th. It was from 7:30 p.m. Paige Heaton recommended this one. They said, I had such an annoying day at work and was overwhelmed with schoolwork, housework, you name it. I took these 45 minutes, crushed the ride, new PR for me. Huge congrats, Paige Heaton. Reset my brain and gave me the confidence to own my reality and get through the nonsense. I love that reason for her picking that ride. That's awesome. And then this one is mine, together with a whole bunch of folks. So Leanne and Ben's 30-minute 5-year anniversary 2-for-1 ride. I mean, how could this not be the pick of the week? It was on the 7th of November. Myself in good company, together with Bertha C. Runs MD, Mike Spikes 03, B. Simon Says, Amajar 3, Leah Seychelles, Shortside Wing, Third Peak, and Everyday Julia K. We all said, oh my gosh, this might be one of my favorite rides on the platform ever. It was just too adorable. Not in a cheesy or cringe way, but in the most genuine and sincerest way possible. The way straight-laced Ben played off of sparkly, bubbly Leanne. One kiss is all it took to fall in love with me, right? And
lying, it's like lies.
Right?
It took 6 months.
It was so funny when they were arguing. And okay, next interval, Ben, never mind, skip the interval. They want to hear the story. Leanne was absolutely hilarious. Ben's dancing, if you can call it that, the serenading,
the Spice Girls stop.
Right. The serenading and the bit about showing the bits were the highlight for me.
Yes.
And I also loved how they paid tribute to the whole UK team. So that truly was the ride of all rides. And then to wrap them all up, we'll end off with Emma Lovewell. She had a 20-minute groove ride from the 8th at 5:30 p.m. Just Dance Lisa recommended this one, and she said the music and choreography were pure joy. And that, folks, is it. I know we threw a ton at you this week. There was a lot to share with you. But as always, hope you got what you needed out of the show. And we had no interruptions. We kind of just behaved ourselves, John. I mean, there was just no editing that was going to need to be done.
I know, this is it's another G-rated episode.
Very PG, for sure. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching and being a part of another week of Pelo Buddy TV. So from me here down in the south of Florida, goodbye, everybody.
And from me here in Michigan, thank you for tuning in to another ad-free Pelo Buddy episode. Isn't it so nice when you don't have to skip that 15-second, you don't have to hit that 15-second skip button to get through those ads that are just crowbarred into your favorite podcast?
You are too funny. We won't cut that bit out now. Anyway, we love you to listen.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, watching, listening from all over, and as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.